Lion.
Maybe. Never know.
So Lion Dark Willow support duo. We'll see how that puts the Mirana. This hero's mostly been kind of that offlane-ish role, reposition.
So what do you think the purpose here is? I mean, I'm seeing a lot of magic damage, so they can deal with DK and Bloodseeker.
Yes.
I'm seeing a lot of bursts, which is pretty good. If you catch Bloodseeker and he has Blood Rage on, just blow him up instantly. Do you see anything else past that would make Lion a good pick here? Because I feel like it's usually a little bit more straightforward why it's...
Reliable disable initiation as well, something that Mirana Willow don't give you.
That's true.
So if you want to pick cores that don't have lockdown, you've got Lion who will eventually get a Blink Hex if you need, or Blink Impale, whatever. He'll get a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
But I think the points you laid out were more the core reason, which is magic damage against DK, Bloodseeker, burst damage against pretty tanky heroes that you kind of need.
Yeah, they're just basically covering their bases against something like a potential storm, because one disable of any kind means that Dark Willow can do a Terrorize, and it'll probably be with Bramble Mazes, and that's almost always going to be a guaranteed core kill.
And pseudo set for like a Mirana Arrow 2 at some point with the Impale, so it's not like the best of setups, but it is a setup of sorts.
I do like Earth Spirit as a bit of a solution, though. Silences, gap close, disables, things like that can be really effective against heroes like Dark Willow and Lion. So I don't think we've casted an Earth Spirit game yet. I'm excited to catch it. I've seen some on other streams and other matches.
It was Baboka actually played a game of it.
Okay. I think that was
Fog
the one
was
against
telling
Liquid.
me about. Yeah, it was one against Liquid.
How's Earth Spirit doing?
Apparently Fog was saying he killed Miracle like 4 or 5 times, but then they ended up losing the game. So.
Okay, that's why they were tipping back and forth. I
Yes,
understand now.
that's the game where Miracle tipped him mid-team fight. So. We'll see how it does here. I'm not sold on Earth Spirit's viability. I think there's a few heroes that, teams are going to like and want to try out. Center is one of those where it's like, okay, he's not terrible, but there's normally better options for what this hero is looking to achieve.
Well, I think this is a perfect game for it, though, because he's up against heroes that don't have high HP, that do have to cast spells to stay alive or defend themselves or do offensive things.
Yeah.
And if you play Earth Spirit correctly, that is the perfect circumstance for him.
Oh, I totally
initiates
agree.
first.
This is another good Wraith King game, though. Good against Bloodseeker, as we saw last game. Don't really care about the Earth Spirit stuns and silences too much because, if you can't cast spells, you're going to survive until you can cast spells, typically. And no mana burn heroes in sight as well as of yet.
Probably won't see that happen.
10 seconds remaining.
Might see a PL ban last or something. I feel like you should ban that PL.
5 seconds
Against OpTic?
remaining.
Yeah.
And they do get the last pick as well, so final call here for OpTic. And since they cover their bases so well in their disable types right now, I definitely feel better about them going for that kind of a lineup.
Monkey gets banned. OpTic has not been doing their Dota buff research. 0 and 6, guys, come on.
They must be worried about like Dragonite in the mid lane or something, because maybe that's one place where he's just got no chance.
It's definitely here that can snowball off of a favorable lane matchup. Be giving away willy-nilly.
As we saw in the OG games, sometimes hard to close those games out, even if you do have a good time going for you here.
Ban the Clinks, so...
Yeah.
I mean, they've got the strafe against the Wraith Fire Blast, so it makes it hard to initiate for Wraith King, but most of the other heroes not throwing around projectiles.
Oh, but I would say Clinks is definitely another hero. I mean, it's a high damage mobility ganker, and again, heroes that need to cast spells to defend themselves against that are usually the ones that are weak to it, especially if he goes more damage heavy. Even if you skip something like I don't know, Maelstrom. Nobody goes like Orchid or anything right now, but that could be effective. It would have been really good against Huskar too.
Juicy pick. This makes it difficult for OpTic for the mid lane. DK, Bloodseeker don't really want to lane against this fella, but OpTic do have a final pick if they want to send DK to the side lane, as they have done many times before in the past. It's not just CCNC who plays it. They'll run it off lane on 33. Teams have even run safe lane DK, so...
And by far the worst thing about it, doing that, is that your lane just ends up becoming a little bit overly defensive. You don't have as much kill opportunity. So, that would kind of be sustainable, I guess, as long as the supports kind of get stuff done, and our Spirit's good at that. So as long as he gets some last hits,
good at it. There are only a few seconds to pick. We'll see what that is in a second. Invoker, ooh. Yeah. He's good at it, but he doesn't want to lane with like a DK or something. If you're told as an Earth Spirit, oh, you got a DK to lane with, that just sounds like, oh, what am I going to do?
Is CCNC an Invoker player? Is this new?
It is. He's been playing it a lot in pubs.
Okay.
I guess, picking up, learning the hero bit. He's got a 6th set, so, he's got the Dark Wizard set.
And hopefully that will be the best Invoker set available on the market in the next 3 months.
Is that not on the market?
I was making an Immortal or a Arcana joke, but
Oh, okay.
and by 3 months I mean 9 months. But
Was that one of the
takes a
ones
while
from
for the
the recent?
it's the last head-to-head, isn't it? Oh no, isn't it Rubik? Did Invoker lose? Oh, that's right, Invoker lost.
Oh, okay. No,
That's
I'm
right.
confused what you're
My
talking
bad.
about.
I was way off.
You know, end of the day, last game of the day.
It's Void Rubik. That's the remainder.
Yes.
The Invoker upset happened, and it's gone now.
Yeah, I'm just
And
going to use our platform to quickly let viewers know you should be voting for Faceless Void.
Exactly.
Won't accept any Rubik votes.
I want those Rubik players to be angry for a second year in a row. That sounds fun to me.
Yes, if you're on the fence, just think about annoying other people. That's why we all play Dota. You're not really playing. No one enjoys Dota for themselves. They enjoy pissing off other people.
So, what do you think about the Invoker this game? Do you think he's going to go Quas Wex is question one? But I also feel like Sunstrike would be really good against Huskar too.
Yes,
so
Exor. I believe it is. I think you need it for the last hitting, for the laning stage. Cold Snap with Earth Spirit rotations. I think Earth Spirit may prioritize the mid lane more than the side lanes even.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like Forge Spirit plus Cold Snap and an Earth Spirit roam, Huskar dies for sure. His armor's way too low.
Why Earth Spirit used to be like the best forward position and one of the most played was just because you just keep on ganking and crushing the mid lane. You're a mid lane supporter. You never really played too much around side lanes.
So with that said, how did the other lanes work out? What's the Bloodseeker matchup they want? What's the Dragonite matchup they want? I guess it's 3/3 Dragonite, so it looks like it'll be off lane. But
you may just you got to choose one of them to kind of prioritize PPD supporting, and then the other you just accept they're going to have a kind of bad lane, bad game. What is it? The Wraith. You probably maybe just send one here against Wraith King because that's lower kill potential than the Mirana +1 lane, but even Wraith King Willow can kill whoever or whatever it is, Wraith King Lion. Both support plus cores have high kill potential.
Is Sunstrike the courier? No! So it will be Exort for sure for CCNC here. We'll see how he works out on this player. They've got so many stuns, there's going to be plenty of Sunstrike potential this game, and even playing around with that stuff in Bloodseeker is fun. They've got Rupture, they've got Swap, they've got Earth Spirit, Boulder Smash if they want to deal some damage in that way. So lots of fun ways to make more use of their heroes this game.
All right, well here we go. We get to see a CCNC Invoker. Where's he going to throw that next Sunstrike? He's still singing Founding. Gotta imagine it's coming.
Wish I could play your perspective right now. It'd be great.
Yeah.
And they're actually going to change up the lanes. Huskar's going to be safe lane. They'll put Armel in the mid lane instead. That way he doesn't have to deal with the Invoker and the Earth Spirit roam. It does sound a little bit too severe. It would be hard to play around that.
He's holding on to the Sunstrike because he hopes his team finds that initial first blood for him. They smoked up top. He actually popped, but not quite in the position they were hoping for. Cuckoo nearby.
They do spot Zai running past, but this may be the bait here.
Yeah, they're going to go running after him. Cuckoo could be in some trouble. PPD going to set up the stun into a roll here and the silence. The Sunstrike's there. He does not get the last hit, but it still goes the way of OpTic Gaming. It goes to Pycat. Not quite the outcome you want, but still a favorable outcome for OpTic.
Yeah. I like how they did that. It's like they waited for a very long time. They knew their opponents were playing safe. They walked Earth Spirit past just to make it seem like he was putting wards down or something like that, but only him. And then they just waited back with Peter hiding behind the tree. That way they could lay the trap and still get the kill. The benefit of all the nukes that they have, really. Yeah. It's like 100 damage from each person involved in that fight.
Very nicely done. See, Tim's headed towards mid. Knowing there was a courier and some bounty runes going OpTic's way, he wants to snipe this courier, and it looks like he may as well do it. Courier snipes have become quite infrequent, which means this is more likely to work. He won't get it on the way out, but he will get it on the way back, I can only imagine. Unless he micros it an odd direction for whatever reason, but he is not sending it anywhere bizarre.
Goodbye, little courier.
Yep.
Rest in peace.
TP's immediately to the bottom lane, where it is going to be the DK in the solo lane. It's not Earth Spirit initially mid. They're tri-laning up top, trying to get an initial kill, and they will get a second initial kill, which they'll get. I kind of like this because you can secure a side lane and then you're no longer needed there. You can go mid. Whereas if you start bottom, it's like kind of you're already sapping XP. So once you leave, your DK's in a really bad shape because you've shared XP and you're leaving him alone.
Yeah, I mean, this is like maybe one lane that I'm not too worried about ditching for the first minute or so, because Dragonite's not going to really abuse the Wraith King. Wraith King's not really going to be his Dragonite, but I mean, like you said, Darkwill is not going to be able to do that much past sapping experience here and right-clicking a bit, so it definitely looks good for OpTic.
They also sent Mirana mid, actually worth noting. We were kind of mentioning a potential Husker mid.
Yep.
No longer the case with the Invoker pickup and also the Earth Spirit in the playing field. That would just be a pretty tough lane for Husker to play, so he is going to be playing up top. But that's against the tri lane. They do find Earth Spirit in the trees up here.
is under attack.
Doesn't look like much is going to come of it, as although Raven is swinging on over.
Either way, Earth Spirit trades pretty well right now. He's got 2.7 armor. He's like a rare strength hero that still has pretty respectable survivability early on. And against a hero like a Lion, this is only going to get worse here. Get some blocks in. One Orb of Venom hit, needs 1 or 2 more to get the stun.
Down bottom, 33 got very low. But not sure if we'll see a kill up here. Still chasing the Lion is Earth Spirit. Cuckoo should be able to get back to the tower safety, but they almost brought down 33. He popped the salve and had it broken, but it did kind of save his life as Wraith King got a crit. They stunned him and caught him in the Bramble Maze. This is what you're going to do against a hero like a solo DK down here, is just bully him. Even if you can't kill him, get him down nice and low so that he can't stay in the lane.
It definitely helps to have all the spell damage at least. He actually executes a pull here and instantly ditches the lane, which is probably the right thing to do. I mean, still, one of the creeps gets denied, and Tim's is going to get some of that pull experience, but at the very least, by the time he is in base, he's going to be able to teleport back and get some experience.
Yeah, the wave is going to be closer to his tower, and in some... That neutral camp is not worth much gold or XP, so he doesn't need to stay there for the newts. He'd much rather be back for the creep lane XP, although he is missing that into the tower. He glyphs it. Yeah. That's one way to make sure you get... Normally you see these glyphs around the mid lane, but he's going to use it down bottom, and now able to TP back. Although... Unfortunately for him, Tim's has done a side pull.
TNC trying to get a kill mid here. They've got the Earth Spirit as well. They've got the stun. It's going to buy a little time.
Romo's in very deep. Pounces, doesn't get all the way out of there. Has another pounce, but he needs to get to the high ground, and his Fairy Fire not going to be used. His TP was in his backpack, so not sure he could have even escaped there if he wanted to.
But can you turn in that little corner? I assume he could have leapt onto the high ground. Maybe it didn't feel like it was worth it because of the heal aspect.
Yeah,
but
I mean, you can turn in any corner. What do you mean? If you're talking about like just face your hero a certain direction?
I really thought he was going to leap to the high ground and get out that way, but yeah, maybe it's just easier to die and respawn like the typical.
It's quite hard to do. You can use the directional movement, but a lot of players don't use that.
Yeah, I turned that on once and was very confused and never went back.
Yeah. That's one of those hotkeys that I think is a small niche of players maybe use. SF players probably use it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Huskar pretty zoned at this point, hasn't even bothered to grab Burning Spears yet, knowing that it's more important to stay alive in this lane where he can just be triple stunned and chased down on Sunstrike. So even though they did dodge the scary lane for the Huskar, it kind of feels like he's still being shut down. Although he does pick up a Helm of Iron Will kind of out of nowhere. I'm sure the Courier Snipe helping a lot with that one.
Yep, bit of extra gold. Also just, you know, having nothing in terms of items, no boots, no wands, just going straight for this Helm for the regen item. Does get stunned at the top lane, followed up by a silence here. That's going to get very low, and Pycat with all this extra movement speed, 2 points in the third, should be able to chase him down. 1 or 2 more right clicks, but he's getting chain stunned here with the Hex into the Impale. Raven gets back to the tower as PPD wanted to chase further. I think probably could have got the kill with PPD chasing as well, with Pycat chasing as well.
Yeah, maybe.
It might have cost him, like taking the tower shots. It's always a bit risky if someone TP's in.
Especially with this early 5 armor, like Raven going straight for the Helm of Iron Will is such a great idea, because sitting under a tower like that, he was getting about 30 HP per second with Inner Vitality, so worked out nice. Then he does take a Bounty Rune as well, TPing out here. Oop, the camera weird, doesn't get the stun just in time. So 3 bounties going to TNC's side, so they've got to feel good about this one. 3-3 even wasting his time walking around, he's kind of off laning the Radiant side, gonna pull creeps, I guess.
Wow, okay. Safe lane's pulling creeps, why not? It's no longer really the safe lane these days. I think some of those names are perhaps a bit outdated, at least in meaning. Nice first hit crit, as Sam H is looking to chase down 33. Should succeed in doing so, and get the kill, as it does look like DK at least spent his money before he goes down there. Not that he had all too much of it, so to speak. I
mean, he's running around at 283 movement speed. It's pretty hard for him to do this creep pulling thing when your opponents have like a full treads up on top of you, so...
He's being sacked, but I think his team's probably just saying something along the lines of, you know, Huskar's having just as bad of a time as you. Bottom river, they're going to see an Impale into an arrow. Should be the death of Zai. Goes for a stun, no roll in time though.
Yep, Tim's very familiar playing against Earth Spirit, or playing as Earth Spirit, so dodges the boulder smash that would hit 3. And then a couple more right clicks is the easy kill. So
they came down bottom because they want to push. Yeah, they have a Skelly army going already, and he's got additional Skellies to summon. These are the ones I believe from that kill that he got, so with the siege creep here, they want to take down this tier 1. Raven, the carry of sorts, heaping in at level 3. But hey, why not? That's what you gotta do sometimes, yep. They want this 33 kill, and they've got the magic damage from the Burning Spears, as well as the Dark Willow here. He's gonna follow it up with a Shadow Realm hit. Should be close to a kill here.
He's surely making them work for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's honestly okay. The amount of time that they spent to blow him up was... I mean, the creep wave's dead.
They did keep the siege creep alive though, and with some skeletons, they should be able to bring it down still. Looks like Radiant do have a glyph. Not sure if they're going to use it here. TNC tanking tower shots now just to make sure they get this tower. And they will succeed. Raven even getting the last hit.
Yeah, they give it to him so you
Mid lane.
can get back into this.
Sunstrike not going to land.
Is under attack.
Leap away as Zai's level 1 stun does not last particularly long. Something that CCNC may be over
Maybe expecting, yeah, the double stun. But even with that, it's still only, what, 0.5 seconds per level. Used to stun a little bit longer.
Yeah, level 1 I think used to be a full second even.
Yeah, and that's one of the nice things that TNC's done is they kind of cut their losses basically. So when you do an aggressive tri-lane like this, if the enemies just leave the lane, then you just never find kills no matter what. Great arrow on Peter.
Oh yeah. Tim's is going to follow it up with a curse ground for some even more stun duration. Peter tries to deny himself to these newts, won't succeed in doing so as they make their way to the shrine.
So now because they haven't been able to catch up as many kills randomly across the map, Zai doesn't have as much to grab. The Sunstrike kill made it all kind of cascades here.
Raven down bottom. He needs to be careful though. There's a lot of heroes coming his way, including a Bloodseeker with Rupture.
Well, I think they'll see the Dragon Knight coming.
Yep.
Without too much worry here, but...
he should know this top lane might be the safe place to farm, although Sam H is already up there, so... Yeah, he's gonna TP his way out of there. Go for the jungle, in fact.
So last hit wise, pretty even across the board. Very even game gold wise.
Yep.
Towers dead on both sides. We're pretty much mirror images here. I guess I would argue Dragon Knight playing from behind is not as bad as Huskar. Maybe something you could say, but Huskar has more ability to kind of snowball out of control in a short period of time.
It's also like the farm distribution in general, like OpTic. I'd say OG. They are an OG, but not the one most users would think. They've got it on, you know, their main carry, Pycat, and their mid CCNC Invoker, whereas TNC, their top farmer is Sam H. He's normally like the playmaking initiator who has less farm, so they're just going to be less comfortable when Raven's having a bad game. Whereas 33 having a bad game, that's a 3 position normal thing.
Yep, and still here that can absolutely contribute in that way. Land stuns at the right time, move around pushing, split push, that kind of stuff, but Sam H is going to TP out, prepping for a smoke here at the shrine, and they group up. I don't think that one is spotted by the Radiant team. They've got decent wards actually to control any kind of aggressive movement, and they're predicting something. They put the scan down, but it's a little early actually.
I wonder if that will mislead Pycat, who is trying to farm this small camp here.
Oh, it was a dire scan, excuse me.
Sam H going to scout him out. He walks into the bramble, unfortunately, and there's going to be a stun to follow it up with the Wraith Fire Blast. There's going to be a arrow and a curse ground. Pycat doesn't get a chance to cast a single spell there.
Bramble is so tough, man. You're trying to hurry, but sometimes you just don't expect the cast range to catch you in one little bramble and everything's set up. So they will start the pressure mid at least. All you need is a brown boots and a belt of strength, and Dragon Knight feels valuable here. Get some tower damage in.
Yep.
Trying his best not to stun his friends.
Yeah, this is just some casual tower damage here. Sam H shows up with a Wraith Fire Blast. Not sure that's the best follow-up. This Impale just level 2. Lion, not really particularly high level. It's 10 minutes in, he's still only level 3. Desperately going to need some experience somewhere on the map as OpTic look to continue pressuring this tier 1. Salve up on the DK, he's going to keep chipping it whenever he can with the corrosive attack from his Green Dragon. He gets stunned again. Armel blinks it with a Starstorm, and that's going to be enough to bring down 33.
Yeah, isn't able to get his wand off in time.
Yeah.
Little too much burst damage, a little too hard to force that one. Another death for 33, but still not that much gold. I mean, his net worth is literally 100 away from Earth Spirit's position, so it does force a lot of reactions. A lot of spells were used there, and even still the supports on the enemy team aren't even that highly leveled, so it doesn't feel that bad to me.
Huskar's game has been a bit salvaged though. He's back up to getting an armlet, his boots on the way as well, so it's no longer just the story of an underfarmed Huskar and DK who is struggling and falling behind. It's now really just the DK who's suffering.
I would say the biggest lacking from those levels. So level 6 on Huskar at this stage is certainly low. So it should be easy to kill him. His damage output is still going to be high, but his survivability won't be impregnable like normal. So if they can rotate the right heroes over, absolutely they can get a kill on this guy.
See a smoke from the OpTic supports as they look to perhaps team up with Pycat. He's the most farmed Radiant hero. And unlike the Invoker, who's also very farmed, he's the one who wants to fight more and be aggressive, make some plays happen. So playing around him is definitely the right call, as we'll see what they can achieve up top. Even just taking a tier 2 tower here, it's 11 minutes in. That's Nice pickup for them if they can get it. Instead, it's going to be Dark Willow who runs into them with the Shadow Realm and immediately pops the smoke and gets out.
Yeah, so they're doing a good job trying to get the silence off in time, but doesn't catch him before the Shadow Realm.
Yep.
So would have been an easy kill otherwise. And they did spot the, I believe, the Mirana as well as the, I think it was the Wraith King used to be down there, so they felt comfortable trying to make a play there.
I used Moonlight Shadow, it looks like to initiate on mid, but they actually spotted the Wraith King going invis up top, I believe, so...
Yeah, the Sentry mid lane spotting him out.
Oh, Raven.
Was
that's a Sunstrike. Oh my, in base, CC and C.
Where did he see him from? There's
Must have predicted it.
I mean, he saw him in the jungle earlier maybe. They go for a D-ward now, but that was like...
He saw him with the Bloodseeker passive.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
And he's probably armlet toggling, gets low.
Yeah. Has to predict. Maybe he forgot about
his history, yeah. I mean, he may have... Yeah, it's one of those things you may see the thirst on you, but then think, oh, I'm fine, and then, yeah, Sunstrike comes out.
Well, that's a huge one.
Nicely done. Yeah.
449 gold going to CC&C for that one. That's half of a piece of his Aghanim Scepter parts.
So, see OpTic continue to play around this top side of the map. Wraith King did finish his blink now and immediately smoking up with Armel, looking to make some plays happen. It was also Lion who's hit level 6 finally. So 13 minutes in, I believe he used that experience tome.
Ooh, perfect grab here if they can get him.
Yeah, he's got 4 orbs. He wants to plant some of these nice and deep. There's an arrow follow-up. Easy kill. Don't even have to use that long cooldown of Finger of Death. So even better.
This is what the line does. Earth Spike into an arrow. That's a guaranteed kill every single time. And it still has the ability to do so many other things. If that's a Shadow Demon and he buys a BKB, then this doesn't work out as long. But Lion has absolutely shown his value so far.
Yep. He's going to plant some of those 4 orbs that he's been stocking up. Cuckoo getting those fantasy points. As getting them nice and deep in some slightly unconventional places. We'll see if PPD can sniff him out or not.
Well, tower falls. Is I going to try for a solo kill mid, or top that is.
Didn't hit the roll, but doesn't seem to matter. He still hits the stun and the silence. The damage over time from the Magnetize is going to be enough. Yep. Gets the kill back at mid. It's Vengeful Spirit King initiate on. They're going to take down the Wraith King, but he has got the Reincarnation. Rupture, though, is going to be there when he respawns if they want to throw it out. Don't even know they do need it. And there's going to be a Chaos Meteor to bring down Sam H a second time, but comes at the cost of the Dragon Knight. Still seems like a decent hold for OpTic.
Yeah, a lot of choices there for 3-3 to make. What does he go for the Huskar stun? But I think stunning the Wraith King under tower is definitely the right move. Maybe he's blink aggressively to get in, not quite sure. But again, he's kind of just spending his hero's resources in the way that he's just trying to get as tanky as possible and forcing his opponents to spend spells on him. And he's absolutely succeeding there.
Coming in Invis is Armel, and he's got a Lion to back him up. So which one are they going to go on here? Earth Spirit's nearby, though, and he's got that long range roll to help people out. The arrow going to follow up with a Starstorm. They need to kill Pycat and kill him quick. They do succeed in doing so. There's a Hex as well, but Lion in all sorts of trouble. Will end up going down.
Wasted Terrorize at least, so small value there for OpTic, but losing a carry like that for support, not a good spot to be in. In the meantime, Raven's still just getting lots of farm on the top lane, queuing up treads, aiming for a halberd afterwards, but I think OpTic has got to be happy with the position that the Huskar is in this game. I just don't think he's going to be the biggest threat. On the bright side, bounties aplenty for TNC as they glide to a 2k gold
I
advantage.
think the issue becomes it really isn't just about Huskar, though, because both Wraith King and Mirana are farming very well and both will scale well. Wraith King going for the same build we saw last game, at least queued up. Blink, Blade Melt, Radiance, and this is, I feel like this is probably the most standard common Wraith King build I see, at least in pro games, as well as some pub games, is that you just get the Blade Mail and then you farm up this big Radiance time, and you can still fight while you're farming for the Radiance. Like, even when you have 3-4k gold stocked up, you're still very useful, assuming you have Reincarnation.
Yeah, that's a good point. Peter Pan Dam gonna get caught here by the gank here. Tim's actually misclicking with his shadow thing, but Venge might stay alive, actually.
The raindrops helping save his life there, it looks like.
I mean, if he didn't misclick, that was a kill.
Yep.
Probably. I guess it would have raindrop blocked all the damage, but perhaps.
Not bad for TNC, who may be eyeing off Roshan fairly soon. Huskar, of course, a hero that always wants to grab that early Aegis as much as possible.
And OpTic actually just kind of playing passive for the last 5 or so minutes. TNC's doing a great job, like, grouping up and smoking at the right times, but on OpTic's side, looks like they want a little time. Still 1,000 gold till a BKB on Bloodseeker, so that the fights will go better there. And again, what's another smoke?
Middle tower is under attack.
CC is definitely who they want.
Yeah, they would love to find the Invoker. They think he's farming very safely out here up in the top lane, but It's not the case.
He'll probably just stick around. I mean, it's a long ways to like Forge Spirits to push lanes out. But he could actually kill this and this Huskar though, with like a Cold Snap and a Meteor. I guess he would still ulti Life Break, remove the Cold Snap and be fine. Maybe this is a really hard kill.
It's not, I guess, not a guarantee enough. We'll see if he pokes his head out or not. There's been these TNC heroes have been missing for so long now that, yeah, they're going to reveal themselves. At this point, you're just assuming, like, if someone's up here, they realize we've been missing for a good 45 seconds. Mid lane CCNC terrorized, pushed back into a Bramble Maze. Armel gonna line up an arrow with a leap. Doesn't get the Starstorm out though. I don't think there was gonna be quite enough damage regardless, and the arrow duration was just, to hit the arrow he had to leap forward, so that was a very short arrow stun. And they won't get the kill, but they are pushing top, so not the end of the world.
Tim's putting a big show of force in here, even though he's literally the only person here. No cooldowns, no mana pool. Zai might spot him, but that was a nice little move by him. Like, no other way can you convince, like, please slow down this push than TPing in that aggressively with that little spells and casting something. And here they come this time, though.
Right, King and TP in 33, just holding his ground to try and secure the tower. Perhaps just wanting to throw away his life for the cause, but OpTic maybe have other ideas. They've got a lot of people up here. They're going to see Lion finger the Earth Spirit. They want to bring him down before he uses any spells. The Magnetize does not come out, and Wraith King wants to chase. He's got Blink soon. Can he get it off? He blinks forward, finds, well, a couple of stuns, but he tanks those with a Reincarnation. I don't think he cares if he dies here. He's slowed 2 heroes, killing him. Maybe the death of OpTic, yeah, and that's why you just want to leave Wraith King alive half the time. They lose 2 heroes just for a Reincarnation cooldown. That is not worth it for them.
Yeah, as soon as they lost the Earth Spirit, they needed to get out. And I don't blame 3-3 for sticking around. He was trying to interrupt the Blink Dagger for Sam H to cover his allies or land a stun, but the Blink came off cooldown too early. And at that point, it was kind of a hard committal that they'd stuck around a little bit too late.
It's one of those counterintuitive moments where you should have stunned the Wraith King and ran away, even though he's got 100 health. Just let him live. It was a level 1 ulti. He levels it up now, so it's still that long 200-second cooldown. So he's got to wait for quite some time to make another maybe team fight impact. But he's got Blink Blade now.
It's gonna be a while till he gets to level 20 though, and CCNC does have level 12 with an axe, 3 points in a Wex, so we could start seeing some EMP as matter perhaps.
Unlike though some of the other mana burn heroes, it's like the nature of Tornado MP is like you can almost always get your wand off afterwards to give you enough mana to reincarnate. Whereas if you get stunned and you're hit by like a PL or a Weaver, you don't get a chance to pop your wand half the time.
Yeah, that's true. And with the Blade Mill, he's got more mana than normal. They did notice the Potom ulti come through though. I was scouting things out with an Invis rune. They just need to stand on the high ground. Peter's going to be the one possibly tanking the gank, scanning in the Roche pit as well, but now Zai's going to spot Tim's. He could solo kill him perhaps.
And he's going to go for it. Stun silence with a Sunstrike. Nicely played. CCNC gets the last hit even.
Yep. No hesitation at all from Zai there.
OpTic, Braver Roshan here. It doesn't look like they have that in mind. They do have the Wave of Terror with some damage amp, but
it's not even that great, I don't think. We've seen other Venge lineups try the same thing. They do not kill Roche that rapidly. Maybe something that's not as important these days.
OpTic showing CCNC top, but they're actually coming bottom to defend. They know Sam H doesn't have ultimate, I believe. They're going to initiate on him. The immediate TP out gets cancelled. Raven also needs to find a way out here. He's got a TP. Can he find a way to use it in the trees? They bring down the Wraith King eventually as the chase is on, and Raven actually does not get caught up to. 33 doesn't have a Blink Dagger or any kind of gap close. He's got one queued up, but because of how bad of a game he's got, it's hard to get those extra kills.
Either way, some great grabs though. It's definitely one thing that Earth Spirit helps out as a 4. Like compared to a lot of other ganking or team fighters, a lot of times heroes like Earth Spirit that can affect and interrupt TPs, they need Blink Dagger first, but he's got it built in with his Rolling Boulder, and it's actually been impactful in a couple of these engagements already. Someone calling? I mean, it's only TI, right? What if it's what if it's a really good offer or something?
I'm not sure what someone calling means. Maybe yelling, because your phones only get taken away. So
that's a good point, actually.
I don't think it actually means phone. But bounty runes come out again. TNC grab the initial 2. There's 2 more which are untaken, which they can also grab. So could see another 4 TNC bounty rune, which has been big chunk of gold. I feel like that's close to like 3,000 or 4,000 gold just from bounty runes that TNC have over OpTic.
And it feels like a staple for both games that OpTic is maybe not always on top of snagging bounties. I don't know if that's just a... I'm not necessarily sure why. Maybe they play a little slower. Maybe they're more defensive. Kuku looking dead in the mid lane at least.
Yeah. Swap. Cold Snap. Easy pickings. Not the biggest deal for him. Pretty small kill to be giving away. As deep aggressive wards do get planted. He got the tower tonight, so it's actually totally worth it, by the way.
Oh, I didn't notice that. That's really good.
Denies more gold than he gives.
Some experience maybe, but not a big loss there.
And hey, Raven's like, wait, there's a bounty rune here? 2130? Okay.
I'll take that one. Halberd's finish on Huskar gonna be really useful against heroes like Bloodseeker. And even Invoker sometimes can be really helpful.
Yep.
3-3. Ooh, very close. Almost nailed by that arrow. Almost a rare mistake. Interesting skill build too, the old 3-3-3 Dragon Knight. Not common, but 0.75 seconds of stun.
Sticking true to his name.
That's a really good point, actually. Yes.
Gonna go full immersion. The really crippling thing about these bounty runes isn't so much the cores, it's because that's team gold. That's where the supports take the biggest hit in terms of the percent of their net worth. That's where, you know, last game PPD couldn't finish an urn. This game, DK struggling to finish a Blink Dagger. Earth Spirit just has an urn. Like, these supports wish they were getting these bounty runes.
Does put a sentry down though. TNC does spot this out, but they have better control in this area of the map. They're doing a good job hiding. I like how they're deep in the trees. Don't even give them an opportunity to initiate.
They're going to fall back and probably try and take Roche themselves now, feeling like it's pretty safe to do so. Earth Spirit, though, in the neighborhood, in a pretty cheeky little spot here where he could go for a Roche steal.
Yeah, get your Twitch clips ready, guys. This is going to be it.
Armel misses the arrow. The Sunstrike going to give some vision, so now he can time it. He has a very good idea of when Roche is going to go down. Zai poised to strike. Here comes the roll with a stun to follow up. Times it perfectly. Gets the last hit as well. Zai, Dota, dies immediately. Wraith King, though, the one who dies on the TNC side, does have reincarnation immediately. Arrow hits the DK as he goes blinking, and they kill the Husker. Wraith King's got no way to survive his second life. He's going to go down as well. And 33 somehow doesn't die. Zai with a magical little play to get OpTic Gaming back in game number 2. They're not done yet. They're going to get Armel. The Sunstrike, not enough to kill him off, but Zai is there to finish it. Well-deserved kill going his way. And there's the tip. Zai, the man of the moment.
That was
fantastic
what a play. Sunstrike obviously helping in a big way, but they were not ready for an Earth Spirit from the right side. And he's lived in their jungle the last like 3 minutes, waiting for this moment, putting wards down. And with this information, I feel like OpTic has used this to not get killed on the map. They just felt so much more confident the last 5 minutes.
It's like they were just waiting for the Roche fight to happen because of Earth Spirit. Like, yeah, he was living in the enemy jungle, getting down wards, but even after getting the wards down, he just stayed in that exact like cliff spot for the longest time. Oh, CCNC, you do not have the ages. Your team may have just secured a Roshan, but you need to be careful. Swapped away to safety. They're going to come in with the Wraith King here. The Finger of Death will help finish him off. Dynamics doesn't have reincarnation, but it doesn't matter. They've got a showing of force here. They've got numbers. As Raven pops up, will bring down PPD. Full-on retreat now for the rest of OpTic, and that's Zai's Earth Spirit rolling and TPing away. Nicely done. Will escape.
He needs a vacay, man. He's out of Stone Remnants. He's got one left here. Definitely a big loss there. CC trying to push that those cooldowns a little bit too far. And once again, it's always like a single Bramble Maze catches a hero. And it doesn't feel like it's if you're playing this hero, it just feels so rough to land those Bramble Mazes. But Tim's always gets the edge on one important heroes that leads into the catch, that gets another stun, and just constantly is getting kills for his team. 1, 2, and 9. Doesn't look impressive on the scoreboard, but he's making really good plays this game.
He's been definitely one of the big playmakers for them. As things will still look overall pretty good for TNC. They're going to Moonlight Shadow up and take a deep venture onto the OpTic side of the map. They've lost majority of their vision here, which is perhaps partly the reason for this, so they can try and sneak out some bounty runes and also a kill if possible, but none present themselves.
They'll feel good about this fight, though. They do see Raven jungling over here, so if they can force a team fight, they'll definitely...
And what do you know? You know, TNC getting 4 bounty runes. We've seen this before. We've seen this again. This goal difference, I want to say, is almost entirely bounty runes right now.
It's got to be. If I was an OpTic coach, I would certainly bring it up once in a while.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we're seeing it not just like from TNC and like OpTic not doing it. It's like every team will smoke and make plays around bounty runes.
Yes.
It's like, oh, bounty runes coming up. Let's grab 3 heroes, smoke, and go and find a kill. Even if you don't find a team fight, you find a single pick-off and you secure bounty runes. It's basically like killing multiple heroes.
It definitely comes down to what kind of heroes you have, though. I mean, not that OpTic Gaming's lineup looks that abnormal or anything, but if you have lots of low cooldown ultimates, that kind of a thing, then it's fine to do these fights. Like Dragon Knight, not great at these little bounty run fights because you don't necessarily want to commit to something that might be a half-hearted fight. So another great tower deny. Tim's being the one for this one. So 2 towers denied now against OpTic. But still great map control around the enemy jungle. This is normally where they want to play, but it's also where heroes like Huskar have to live because he can't push lanes very fast and he is a bit vulnerable to a lot of focus pressure from like 3 heroes.
Little 3-man smoke down bottom. Pycat could be on the receiving end. He does have a BKB, but Lion has a Blink, and that's one of the best ways to counter a BKB. A Blink Hex, a Blink Impale. This could be the death of Pycat if he's not careful. He's close to his tower, but not close enough. Blink Impale is there. Pycat, no insta BKB. He should be going down here. The Boulder Smash, almost there in time to save him, but it's not going to be enough. Zai wants to turn this one around, though. He's going to buy back as well. They should be able to get some kills off of this OpTic. We'll get the Huskar initially. Can they find more? Cuckoo going for the TP out. It's a longish TP. He barely makes it up. PPD trying to get the swap, but it was too late, and he just swaps his teammate. And I think TNC are going to feel great about that. Bloodseeker bought back.
Yeah, the buyback was really costly there. About 1,000 gold lost for Bloodseeker.
Yeah. I think they misread it. They must have assumed... it felt like they looked like it was going to be a big team fight, and like, oh, they're all here. They just ganked me by a tower. Let's take them in a like 5v5 situation. But it was just a little gank squad. It was like, let's gank, let's get out.
I mean, it could have been really scary, right? If the whole team is there and they kill Pycat like that and win a team fight. The creep wave is there as well. That could have just been a Rax that happens all of a sudden in a 27-minute window. So
yeah, very true.
It's one of those things that you have to buy back really fast in a lot of cases to make the window of making the team fights better. So if you hesitate, bad stuff like that happens. So when you play unpredictable, like TNC has been with some of these movements, that's when you start getting these little edges over your opponent. In this case, a big edge.
Yep. That's one of those smoke ganks I feel like is very random. Like, maybe not random, it was obviously there was a clear purpose to it, but very few teams would make a play like that.
Yep.
Like, oh, let's just, we're showing 2 heroes, there's a Wraith King pushing top. This Dire side going all the way down to this bottom lane to find a kill right by the enemy tier 3 is definitely an unexpected play.
And Sam H prepping for the Radiance now.
Yep. He's playing the somewhat pseudo carry role this game. He's similar farm to the Huskar, but he's going to be much more the front liner than the Huskar. Yeah.
I mean, especially because Zai is doing so well, 5, 2, and 6. He's picked up Spirit Vessel. You could really see it against a Huskar. Like, once he initiated and he dropped the ultimate and put the Spirit Vessel on Huskar, Huskar was wrecked. There was not much he could do. He's not going to get as much healing. He can't armlet toggle very safely, so really straightforward for Zai, at least until he gets BKB on Huskar. So for now, it seems like ganks is kind of the way that TNC has to play. Lincoln's was the Armo pickup as well, which protects him against Rupture, but he hasn't really felt like somebody that can also jump into a fight and just be really happy with how things are going. So maybe TNC just does these poking things and gets these ganks off to try to delay things until they have the big items on their heroes.
Yep, that definitely can work. For OpTic side, it just kind of feels like, they're playing this slower game. They're looking towards the late game, and if they're going late game, it really needs to be CC&C who pulls them through, because DK has no farm whatsoever to scale with, and Bloodseeker, BKB, Halberd, this is not a scaling build, so it really is all in on this late game Invoker. He's going to have to hit some sick combos.
But with the Dragon Knight being behind like this, he's not going to collect more farm that rapidly, especially when he maxes out Breathe Fire last.
Yeah,
which is understandable for the way he's trying to play here. He's trying to be the guy that takes the focus and takes a lot of damage, it takes a lot of spells, but obviously his farm level is really starting to suffer. 7,500 for him. But maybe he's just feeling like, I can't actually catch up at this point. I'm too far behind for the Dragon Knight, so I'm just going to focus on stuns, being in the right place at the right time, and pushing towers. And he's done that. But they need to start winning team fights, because things are going to get out of control if they just stay stagnant and get little ganks here and there every 5 minutes. They're just going to get out-farmed.
Bottom lane, there's a big Skelly army on a tier 3 tower, so let's say somebody has to address this. Bounty runes coming up in OpTic. Birds, they've got bounty runes. 2
whole bounty runes. Incredible.
Christmas Day.
The richest they felt in a while.
Supports are happy. Look at that. Immediately, items being poured. This Halberd, it just shows up out of nowhere. Yeah. Look what a couple bounty runes will do.
Changes everything. And 3-3 is inching closer towards his Black King bar. About 500 go for that. That way he can super confidently initiate, actually.
Yep.
Almost a BKB and Morana. They're going to try to get the silence off. Good initiation. Now the stun. Perfectly played there by Zai, and that's an item that doesn't help you against Earth Spirit. The Lincoln's is pretty much useless.
Very nicely played, hitting those rolling stuns and silences.
OpTic is real happy with that one. At minimum, it's going to be a buyback force, but very likely they get the tier 2 here. Roshan is actually up in about 40 seconds, same time that Mirana is respawning, but they're just going to go high ground here. Why not keep pushing?
Yeah. Hey, it looks... Oh, TNC going to have to come back and do something about this.
Maybe looking for a swap here.
And they've got the double siege creeps, which is a big part of why they probably went for this push. They put Alacrity on one, they're pinging it. TNC's like, we're going to do something about this siege creep. We just lost a tier 3 tower out of nothing. Alacrity siege is so goddamn good.
Wasn't that a full HP tower before this? It was. The tier 2 tower just died. And now those 2 catapults actually killed the tower.
It melted.
By themselves. With Venge Aura, but mostly 100 damage from Alacrity here. And now the game just completely changes. With that small moment of them getting the Mirana kill, because they didn't want to buy back. I mean, I don't think they expected the catapults to kill the tower that fast, but they get tier 2, they get the tier 3, they're going to deal with shrines, and now the map control from TNC is just utterly different.
It really just all comes back to those 2 bounty runes, Purge, I gotta say.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's the difference, mate. The confidence. They hear that gold and they're like, you know what, guys? It's going to be all right.
Well, that puts them in a good place. Next Roche has respawned. TNC have got to be thinking, that was a bit of a mess up here. We lost a tier 3 tower, we lost shrines, we lost a lot of map control. We need to right this ship as they may look to play around Sam H. He got this Radiance and they've yet to kind of fight around him and achieve anything with it. His level 3 ulti also online, which is a big timing. 40-second cooldown. You really would want to be fighting as often as possible when you have a level 3 ulti on Wraith King.
Well, they're going to pop Pot multi at least. They've got Haste Rune on Dark Willow. Nope, never mind, running out.
CCNC needs to be careful here in this mid lane. He's a little bit exposed. Does have a swap to back him up though.
Yes, and lots of BKBs on the core, so they're going to go on the Dragon Knight instantly. He's going to, oh, great swap, going to buy time.
Root caught him though. He is going to BKB before Armor Starstorm hits though, so they take out the Venge with these. Can they bring down CCNC? He pops his BKB, already very low though. And on the Dire side, they've taken no casualties and did finish off the Dragon Knight.
Rupture used to. I got Kukulo.
Yeah.
It's very tempting. I'm sure Bloodseeker salivating right now.
Can they take Roshan off of that? That's a dead DK, and I think just as importantly, BKBs were used, at least on the Invoker. Bloodseeker still has his. Dire side used a BKB on both Mirana and Husker, but I would say somewhat less dependent on these for a fight.
They can't even easily cross here. They're going to pop smoke. Tim's in a great position though. Very likely that he'll be able to block the CCNC dropping some Forge Grids. They know they're approaching, but Tornado comes through.
Yep, a little bit too late. Are they going to take this fight? That'd be very brave. They should know where PPD is off that Wave of Terror. They're going charging forward, but OpTic do avoid getting caught.
I think he's maybe trying to just vision, break Blink Daggers, that kind of a thing, prevent chase. So they don't get the defend. Definitely a little tough for them, but it was actually amazing how effective it was to jump in like that and just burst down 33. They threw all the nukes on him. He would have died instantly without swap, no BKB out of him. And it really needed to go the opposite way. The Dragon Knight's basically playing the same kind of role as what the Wraith King normally does. Jump in tanky, disable a guy, and let your allies follow up. But they weren't the initiators themselves.
And even though, bottom lane, TP in, that's going to be
got a cheese.
1 life. Oh, uses the cheese. That's not what you expect when he has Reincarnation, but should be able to find PPD. Hex Impale, nothing. Cuckoo couldn't find him. He used the Impale already. I guess wrong with where he was.
Yeah, guessed on this line here.
And couldn't get vision for a Hex. So nicely done to get out of there. And the cheese was used, which was
not bad.
Perhaps win for OpTic, even if just a small one. It's weird because the swap is a save, but it still feels like the best way for TNC to fight is just to blink stun a hero, even if they know that hero is getting saved. Because if they get into half health, they're less likely to be able to team fight. Raven mid.
He's not going to BKB? Okay.
He's got the Aegis. He is going to go for the BKB. Is he going to turn and fight? You betcha. There's a hero in rage. He has been ruptured. He's kind of stuck in place here. Doesn't want to go for a life break just yet. He's got Pycat BKB'd up in front of him. Now he goes for the life break with the rupture wearing off. He's going to go chasing after him. Gets caught by the halberd, unfortunately, so he can't do too much damage. But Pycat's lost all his teammates. No Invoker, no Venge, and no life left for him. At least not for another 75 seconds as the push goes down mid. TNC taking game 1 and now in a fantastic spot for game number 2. A 2-0 in this very contentious Group B would be absolutely massive.
They did get 2 bounty runes though, at least. But ultimately it comes down to the same thing that's happened every single other team fight. TNC jumps in, puts a stun on an important hero, they drop Finger of Death, every nuke that they can, and they get a kill. This time I was on Invoker.
You burst down that first target, or you get them very low and they get swapped out, but either way they're removed from the fight. So you know you have an edge whether you kill them or not. you've got heroes that are just less dependent on some of those spells. There can be a buyback from Bloodseeker. Husker just going to immediately delete Earthspirit. He's got no buyback. 33 TP'd in with a BKB, but he just does no damage. What's his BKB for? It's to get a stun out on Raven, but is there a follow-up? There is a Rupture. He's got an Aegis. He may just not care. He can stand still. He's going to get tornadoed. Sunstrike follow-up. Can they kill him once? Better question, perhaps, can they kill him twice? They'll kill him once. Bring him down, as does the Wraith King. He pops the Blade Mail on respawn. If they want to go for Sam H, they sure as hell can, and they're going to kill him a second time, so no respawn here. Probably wishes he still had that cheese, as they do go looking for Raven's Husker. Melee Rax was claimed. They're going to go for it. BKB on Raven if he needs it. Doesn't look like he does. And Willow's out of there.
All right. I mean, I thought that was okay. They did get the full set of Rex, but it felt a little bit worse. They are still very able to kill the Wraith Knight. Lots of magic damage, basically. So until he gets something like a BKB, and he's got the money, 6k gold,
6k, yeah.
He dies real fast.
I think that's the right pickup here, but we'll see if he does end up committing to it or not.
Seems like TNC's been just using BKB, but BKB's a little bit better, but I don't really blame CCNC in the mid lane because they had great vision. They had wards up on both sides, but the pod multi got used. They dust the Huskar, so they know where Huskar is, but they don't want to pop BKBs just on the off chance that it's Huskar alone and nobody else shows up. So it's like one of those hard moments, and instantly you get a Blink Hex or a Blink Stun, and if you can't react in time, it's over. Like, your hero's going to get bursted down, so tough moment there. Maybe they just needed to be a bit quicker killing the Huskar initially or something, but
it's kind of almost like the nature of the heroes that it's a lot easier for TNC to BKB because they can usually see the stuns coming. There's no real... The Blink Stun from a DK is kind of instant, but on the dire side, a Blink Hex or a Blink Impale from Cuckoo's very hard to dodge. Wraith Fire Blast possible, but tricky, so much easier for TNC to use BKB as well.
Yeah, those are one of those like super high level things where a small reaction time difference can be an absolute change. Like, if you are fast enough to get a BKB off, they're looking for a swap maybe on the Wraith King, but he's got BKB active and they notice that. They know it's not time to go now.
No.
Pre-BKB, yeah, kill him twice maybe, but definitely not now. Now, maybe now.
They're going to try and maybe get a free cheap kill on him. They don't want to commit too much. They're not throwing any BKBs. They will get that first kill. They're not even... No, they are going to stay around here. SMH immediately BKBs. Looks to turn and fight. Earthspirit got hexed up when he went in here. He gets taken out without getting too much off. Did get the Magnetize out. SMH is dying a second time even with the BKB. Not bad for OpTic, but they have lost CCNC. Armel found him, and he's going to throw out an arrow. Doesn't hit 33 here, but Raven's there with the Burning Spears. Should be able to do enough damage to 33. He's trying to hide in the trees, but that strat doesn't work. This isn't TI1 anymore. You don't stay in the trees. You're going to get out of them and go and fight. Team's just going to fight Pike out as well. The Finger of Death getting him nice and low. Perfectly primed for Tims to finish him off and get a double kill. He even got PPD. They're all dead. They've all got no buyback. It's GG. OpTic have been 2-0'd here, and TNC going to be going to sleep with smiles on their faces tonight.
I think OpTic did a great job with the heroes they had, but the Dragon Knight always playing from a position of weakness. The initiation of TNC was just superior, and it just made me feel very confident in TNC over OpTic as a team. Like, they both games, it was kind of a back and forth thing, but just across the board, TNC was making better rotations. They were more successful. Their teamfight initiations were better. They were using their items in superior ways, and they just were playing faster, going from gank to gank more rapidly, while OpTic sits around farming creeps or waiting for an easy gimme kill.
They look like the confident team, and I'd say one of the bigger criticisms of